Welcome back to Twice Half That. I'm Anthony.
So, motherfuckers, I'm Daryl.
Today we're going to start off with a little jump back into the sports world and NFL. You need to do away with Dan Snyder.
Yeah, that guy is a bad owner and has been a bad owner.
And not just owner, it sounds like a bad human being.
No, he's a fantastic human being.
You know, the allegations may not be directly against him, but they're highly influenced by him.
I mean, no other owner in the same period has anywhere near the same allegations that this guy does.
The sheer number, yeah. I mean, you had the... I can't remember his name right now. The previous... Those were different allegations, and he paid. And tipped.
He paid with his tip?
The former Carolina Panthers owner had the whole sexual misconduct allegations coming out of the front office, and they essentially forced him to sell. You have similar things with misogynistic, sexist, racist, all sorts of different practices going on in the front office here. Nothing happens. And then even more allegations come out. Still nothing happens. And now you got the allegations that they were keeping 2 books from the income from ticket revenue, so that they told the NFL one number, which is what they were going to have to put in for revenue sharing to share with the other teams, and then another book with the actual numbers. Now, while dirty as fuck as far as just a business practice goes, it also could potentially cost the NFL their antitrust immunity, which then completely changes the whole landscape of the league.
And it's thievery.
Yeah.
Theft.
But I mean, by losing the antitrust immunity, they are now subject to being considered individual entities as opposed to the NFL overall. And the reason they got that immunity was because it was negotiated in to where basically they work in unison, which is why there's revenue sharing, there's things like that. With him doing this now, and this all came to light because of the severity of the allegations in the sexual misconduct and the racism, misogyny, that the federal government's involved in the investigation now. And that's where this stuff's coming out. I mean, you had stuff coming out, you had was it like 60,000 emails or whatever, which is what essentially, may have cost Gruden his job, because of, what he said was wrong and deserved it, but the whole reason it came out was because of these investigations. So the NFL and your god-awful commissioner, Goodell, who actually does exactly what his job is, because his job is to work for the owners and nothing else. If you're really working for the other owners, you would force him out of the league. The same way the NBA did with, what's his name from the Clippers?
Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's going on? Are they just being litigious, trying to get all their ducks in a row before they finally, open the blind and start fucking them up? Or are they just, is this more rampant than we know? Was the investigation... And
I believe it to be more the latter, because if it was getting your ducks in the line, the initial allegations came out like 2 or 3 years ago. And granted, I understand a lot's gone on in the world during that time, which may have taken time away. But they've still been in business that entire time, which means there are people, whether they're in the office or working remotely, you can still go through all the information. You have everything at your fingertips. So it makes me believe that it's more the latter of it's far more rampant, and not necessarily just in that front office and that ownership group and that team, but with other ones that are going. We had recently the allegations from the Cowboys with people from the front office entering the cheerleaders' locker room unannounced while they're changing.
Yeah, and that's that's nothing new. Not saying with the Cowboys, but I mean
that whole
the whole
thing,
culture of you're shut up, you're just a woman. You know, you want to keep working here, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I got a lot of money, he got a lot of money. Just, you know, enjoy what's going on. And some of them, most of these chicks, 99% of them are just there to do their job
and go home.
Go home, yeah. They ain't trying to fucking fuck some old piece of shit perv.
Just because he's got money.
Yeah, it's like not everybody's that money motivated.
Well, we all know that those people are actually in it for the love, not the money.
Hookers? But yeah, he's a bad owner.
He being Dan Snyder.
Yeah, Dan Snyder. I like Jerry Jones. I hate the Cowboys, you know, just because, again, Bay Area, you know, Niners.
And they're the Cowboys,
but Jerry
regardless of Bay Area or not, you know.
Jerry doesn't seem like he's someone that would allow that to happen just because he doesn't want to get sued.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that he's a perfect human being at all.
Like, you know, granted, I don't know him, but from his interviews and everything, it doesn't really, you know, he seems like someone who wants to win you over, not so much force you to do shit.
He'd rather have you think it's your idea.
Yeah. Or he just wants to, he likes you, so he's going to show you love. He's someone who understands what the fuck his money can do for him, you know, whereas someone like Schneider seems like, you know, he's ghetto rich. You know, yeah, I got money, but I really ain't got that much, you know, or, you know, I do have money, but I don't want to spend my money, I want to spend your money.
And I think it may be that one.
And when you allow motherfuckers to get away with shit, this is why no one should be above reproach. You allow people to get away with shit, you know, this is what happens. They're going to continue to do it. And then you get shit like just some judges saying, oh, well, you know, he didn't really grow up like that, so that specific dude, yeah, he broke the law, but he's not fit for jail, so we'll just give him, like, 4 years probation. And
Brock Turner.
Yeah, and it's all like, what type of shit is that? No.
You legit, or I don't think he actually got to the point of raping her. I think he was stopped before that. But you're trying to rape an unconscious chick, and
no, I think he did.
Did he? I can't. I hate
either way, who cares? You attempted or you did,
exactly.
Motherfucker. You did it.
You did it. I think he did, though. I mean, now that I'm saying, I think he did
do it.
Or he was in the process of doing it when they stopped him. But because he wouldn't be able to last in jail, the judge goes, you know, that's a great argument. He is guilty, but I agree with you. 6 months probation.
And if you don't believe in systematic racism, right there. Remember, it doesn't need to necessarily be negative towards someone, showing favor towards a certain group for a certain, you know, for whatever fucking reason, especially when it's racially motivated. That's racist. He did it purely because, oh, well, this kid wouldn't survive. Yeah, there's a rule in prison, rapists get killed, at least in California. I know from, you know, some of these other YouTubers that, you know, prison YouTubers, or I should say, you know, YouTubers who have been to prison and talk about it. You know, some states, some of these dudes are left alone. In other states, you know, they gotta go to protective custody. But here, you will get beat to death or just beat on a regular basis, or they'll just straight up kill you. You know, and they knew that. He knew that.
One of the
judge
few
knew that.
Positive things of prison is that there is that code, and people who do those heinous crimes, whether it's rape, any sexually related thing, especially to women or children, they're persona non grata. They are
You're lowest
the biggest
on the
target.
pole.
And that's one of the few positives in the prison system, is that those people who the judicial system barely slaps on the wrist for something that...
It's also classist.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is.
Classist, then racist. Because remember, above all, in this little,
the most important color in this arena
is green. Like, it's a way of controlling us it's, have me fight against him fight against her fight against him. You keep us distracted. You can fucking do whatever you want.
Yep.
Essentially like we are now, working, a stupid amount of hours a week just to break even.
And in some cases, not even
breaking even. You're fucking behind on rent. And it's all like, dude, I got a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2 square feet.
I don't even have a bath. We have a communal bath.
Yeah, and you want to charge $1,200 fucking dollars for that. And how many of these homes are owned by, foreigners that now have shit for rent? I can tell you now, from someone from the Bay, there's a lot of homes here that are owned by foreigners that are for rent.
And not just foreigners, foreign corporations.
Yeah.
It's not an individual that, ultimately it probably is an individual who's the quote-unquote president of the board, but really they own 90% of the company. But it's these foreign entities, these corporations are buying up farmland, homes, and it's not just foreign entities too, it's Wall Street. After the 2008 crash. After that, they started using housing as investment, like hedge funds and things like that started using housing as investment. So now they're buying up all these houses, which is limiting supply, which is increasing the cost, and it's fucking over the average human being.
Well, it's fucking over the average American.
Yeah.
Bring this back to fucking, Brock Turner and them. This is what they're doing. They want to separate, segregate, and be like, they get a certain set of rules, you get a certain set of rules. When you violate them, you will be punished to the, utmost extent of the law. They will get a slap on the wrist and told not to do anything. Don't do that again.
They'll get a harsh talking to.
And then they move on. And this is what, got, put us, the NFL in the position they are with Dan Snyder is, not nipping anything in the bud. I know you were getting fucking reports of this dude doing stupid shit, from way.
And even if it wasn't him directly, those underneath him. And when you're in that position, you can't tell me that, okay, one incident may go unnoticed. Multiple, which is what has happened. It's not one isolated situation. It's many. You're not a business owner at that level and have made that much money and not known that's going on, regardless of if you were directly involved in it or not, which, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was. But even going to the point to where we're not saying he's directly the one doing it, that it's going on.
Well, enough reports have come out, and I mean, you're a multi-billion-dollar company to not have any fucking NFL, actual NFL official, executive, whatever the fuck you want to call, liaison at each and every team. That way, if anything does come out to this magnitude, they can report that shit back. They can be like, hey, we got a problem.
Yeah,
then you send the team out
even if it's not a direct liaison, it's a mold. They have eyes and ears in there. There's no way they don't. You'd be stupid to have a business that is that much of a cash cow and allow one man to potentially bring down everything. Because if this gets any bigger and if these allegations are proved to be true, you do run the risk of losing your antitrust immunity, which completely changes the way the league's structured.
And if I'm the government, you totally do that. Hey, motherfucker, you want to consistently change the goddamn tax rules on me? Why don't you try and get, money that's a lot of money that's there. Fine them. Take that shit away from them. Put a harsher tax penalty on these companies that violate our fucking laws, and stop letting these fucking...
And then that's the other implication that comes along with that too, because if they're keeping two books, they're not going to show the IRS the book that they're keeping with all the revenue, because the NFL can find that out. They're going to show the one they're showing the NFL, which means there's tax evasion involved too.
And if you're the government, you're going to be like, all right, so was there any higher ups, anybody that can make, the proper decisions and the right, or who can make that call. They're the last, they're the one that makes the goddamn call. Goddamn, my brain is not working well right now.
Just right now,
fucking right
stuck
side.
on repeat.
Totally got control. But, there's someone that is responsible for saying yes, no, ignore, go after them. They're gonna search for that, and if they find it, they're gonna find the NFL a lot of fucking money. Heads will roll, and in all honesty, not just fines need to be put out. In order to stop any type of corruption, any type of this shit, these motherfuckers need to see jail. I do not care if it's a white collar crime. You broke the fucking law. You go to jail.
Yeah.
Then, when we figured all that shit out, you go to prison. And in federal prison, you do 80% of your time. And that's exactly what the fuck they should do. You don't want to do all that? All right, well, you're worth what? I don't know how much he's worth, but you're worth $6.8 billion. All right, you get out of jail.
That high, but that's not.
I'm just throwing that number out. You want to get out of jail? All right, I'll pay for it, but you'll get. Instead of 6 years jail time, I'm going to give you 6 years probation, and you owe the government $2 billion. You're breaking your shit off. You owe me 30%. If you don't want to go to jail and you got that much money, put your money where your mouth is.
Yep.
Give that money up. It's not like it's going to a bad cause. It's going, to the U.S. fucking people.
Yeah, it's going right to the politicians.
If you know where my money's going, that's why you don't want to give it up, then, motherfucker, you better start opening up and letting people know.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I don't like that. I get in trouble for for stealing a loaf of bread to feed my kids, but this nigga could rob fucking literally millions of households fucking over everybody who falls under the umbrella of American, but it's all like, oh, damn, 20 people died behind my decision, and 30 million people got fucked out of, jobs and homes and whatever else.
Yeah, but
that's acceptable losses.
Yeah.
I didn't see any negative from that.
I actually made some money on that.
And it's like, what the fuck? Again, the housing crisis, I think, who was it? Hannity bought 30,000 homes.
I believe it was.
What the fuck do you need 30,000 homes for? Especially when those homes were literally made to be foreclosed on. The deals, the loans that were given out were predatory. They knew what the fuck was going on. Did anybody get in trouble for it? No.
And the ones that did, it was
a slap on the fucking wrist. And the same thing, like, these bankers do not get in trouble. Did, anybody who got a bailout who turned around and started fucking just spending that money willy-nilly? It's all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the bailout was to keep the company moving. You're giving
the
bonuses.
Auto industry.
Bank and auto.
It's all like, what the fuck?
So you're failing. You're failing. You get government funding so that we don't lose those jobs and those companies. And now the executives are getting bonuses.
And these same people do not believe in socialism. A bailout is socialism. If it was capitalism,
just like we were talking about a couple weeks ago,
capitalism would have let you fall. There's no such thing as, there is literally no such thing as too big to fail. You make something. You make backdoor deals to do that shit. Fucking Pablo Escobar had a lot of motherfucking money. He was pretty motherfucking big. He did a lot of big shit. What happened to him? He fell.
Yep.
The United States, we're pretty big. Hey, we're on our way towards falling. A lot of you motherfuckers may not believe it, but we're a failing democracy. You want to know why? Because we allow the GOP and the motherfucking, these dumbass Democrats to literally just argue about who has the best way of robbing the American fucking public.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, it's trackable. I don't want to, nobody bitch. Prove me wrong. Go look up what the fuck the GOP has done. They've done more damage than the Democrats, I could tell you that. Fucking look at voter registration laws. Look at fucking just shit. There's a litany of shit so much I can't even think of it right now.
Yeah, there's so many aspects of when we start getting into the political realm talking about this is You can look at the budget, the annual budget that they put out. There's money going to dead-end projects. There's money going into programs that haven't existed for over 100 years. Over a century. This country isn't 300 years old. That program is more than a third of the age of this country. And it hasn't existed in that long. Yet, for some reason, there's still $50 million going into it. Where's that money disappear to?
Yeah, and almost every politician in the game now, they're not on our side. I wish it was true, but most of them aren't. A good portion of them aren't. I'm not going to say all, because there's a lot of there's a lot of outliers, and there
are genuine people.
Low-level people are trying to do it, but they get stopped at these higher levels by these Nancy Pelosi's, who's from my fucking hometown, which pisses me off because that chick, all she's about is making her and every other politician more and more money. Oh, well, we can't do that. Recess. I'm getting paid to do nothing. Oh, well, we're going to have to discuss that, in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And, we'll do that on the taxpayer dime. And, hey, I totally believe I don't believe in anybody getting any tax write-off for having your business meeting 8 o'clock at some 5-star restaurant, and you can write that off.
Yeah,
now,
no, that's ridiculous.
You have that meeting in the middle of the motherfucking day at your fucking office. Don't write shit off. Bring lunch in from home. That's the way that works. You made that money, you spend that money. It ain't up to the government to be like, oh, well, we'll give you money back because you needed to eat lunch. No, bitch, you could have did with a box lunch.
Meanwhile,
with a sandwich.
There are kids that aren't getting school lunches provided to them.
Unacceptable. Or you can't graduate because you got a lunch debt. Bitch, what the fuck? Are you stopping an American child from graduating because they don't have money to pay you for food? We are the richest, supposedly the richest country on earth.
We're supposed to be the glowing emblem of the first world.
And you're telling me you can't pay, or you cannot feed one of your own kin, your fucking countrymen, a child. This motherfucker can't provide for themselves. Oh, where their parent. I don't give a fuck about their parent. That little nigga's hungry now. Why the fuck are you gonna fuck him off of an education?
That started like a little business, like making something and selling them little widgets, whatever the fuck it was. I can't remember right now. But selling them and actually making money and using that money to pay off his friend's school debt or lunch debt so that they could pass along.
That's bullshit. He should not have to do that. And again, all you motherfucking punk-ass Christians that, oh, I am my brother's keeper, miss me with that shit. Because I grew up in that punk-ass religion, and I can tell you, most of you motherfuckers, when someone really needs help, you turn your back.
Hey,
you ignore.
Perfect example. Look at Houston during the
look at Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
That massive piece of shit. You better
have people
hope
that are
that your God
literally
is not
about to
real.
drown because they can't get out of there. Their house is underwater,
real.
and you won't open that. You won't open up. Meanwhile, you have the mattress salesman opening up his entire warehouse so people could sleep there, feed them, whatever needs to be done, not expecting anything in return.
And
he's not portraying himself as a preacher. I don't know if he's a religious man. I'm not going to go there. I don't know. But this Christian minister who spouts all this stuff and is supposed to be, the Christian way.
He's a carpetbagger. He's a charlatan. Snake oil salesman.
Is keeping his doors locked while these people are out there freezing, damn near drowning.
I don't want any of these people on
Meanwhile, you have a mattress salesman opening up his warehouses and saying, fuck it with my inventory because now it's being slept on. I can't sell it. And housing and feeding hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Yet a supposed man of God. I got, go look up the history of religion. If you're religious, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the people who have died defending and, attacking others in the name of a religion that's supposed to be peaceful. And I mean, looking at you fucking Muslims and Christians and Israelis, not all of you, but a good portion of you, know what the fuck you're doing.
Enough of them.
You know what the fuck you're doing. Don't give me this, oh, well, we're being hit by terror. Miss me with that shit, nigga. You know exactly what the fuck is going on.
And how about this? Newsflash. All three of you. Judaism, Islam, Christianity.
Same God.
It's the same God.
Same fucking God.
Same God.
Same
different prophet, same God.
God. You know, and religion has a place, had a place. I understand if you're having trouble and you know you need some hope, you need some of that, the hope is you. There's a reason in the Bible it says, you know, God helps those who help themselves. That's literally kind of telling you, help yourself. That has nothing to do with him. That's like cold reading. Like, you just run up to him, oh, hey, yeah, fucking, how's your brother, and then you go, Jeffrey, and it's like, yeah, how's Jeffrey? Oh, he's doing good. You just got cold read.
Yep.
That motherfucker don't know who you are. He don't even know if you got a brother. He's just throwing it out there, seeing, oh, you know, how's, sometimes it's just, how's, you know, and it's all like, Chris, yeah, Chris, man, what are they up to? Oh, they're fine. He just had another kid. All this information they're getting.
Yep.
You know, and that's how a lot of times, you know, those fucking, what's his name? John Edwards, the ghost whisperer, and that other bitch, Sylvia Brown. That's what they're doing. It's cold reading.
Yeah, they're reading facial expressions. They're reading it's all nuanced.
Blow that up, and that's what commercials are.
Yeah.
That's literally what they're doing. And a lot of the shit you get to, even the news. You know, a lot of news organizations, I'm not going to say fake news. There are a lot of fake news organizations out there. It's nothing new. Yellow journalism has been around for a long motherfucking time.
It was around before he was.
Yeah,
he was the one that just really modernized it and put it out to the masses in a nice, clean, neat way. But the concept of yellow journalism, be it by that name or another, has been around since spoken language started.
Man, telephone.
I mean, all it is yeah, exactly. It's just like the game of telephone. So one thing gets said, another thing gets passed on through two or three people, and now it's a completely different story.
Yep.
It's as simple as, also, you get told something, you repeat it verbatim, but the way you say it is in completely different syntax, completely different mannerisms,
you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, and
there you go.
People are all like, whoa, okay.
Well, you'll take it as that. I tell you something that's really good news. You go tell it to someone another way, and as far as they're concerned, we're going to war.
Yeah. Or here goes an example, the roof is on fire. The roof. Yep. No, the roof is on fire. And it's like, okay, compared to the roof is on fire. You know, oh, shit, there's some urgency in that. Oh, let me get the fuck out of here. You know, let me warn some people. You know, and I don't want to go down that fucking religious rabbit hole, but please do your goddamn research on it. This shit is very old.
And do real research. Don't just read the Bible. Don't just go talk to your pastor or your rabbi or your whatever. Actually sit there and do in-depth research, not just from some blog, from someone in a basement writing it and telling you their thoughts on what they read.
You could still believe in it. I'm not trying to change your beliefs.
That is 100% on you.
You just need to educate yourself.
Just make sure you're making an educated choice
of your religion. Because I could tell you with all of them,
because
they're not very rosy.
And I will respect it so much more if you've actually truly researched it and still.
Because if you did, you'd be, you know, a little bit more, you know, willing to help your fellow man and not just believing in whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah, love thy neighbor, all these things, and
every super religious person I've ever known, well, specifically in the Christian, Catholic, whatever the fuck it is, that same goddamn realm, you know, all those people were assholes. Barely wanted to fucking help. You know, and then the ones that did
help those that, you know, follow your religion, aren't gay, aren't this, aren't that, aren't, you know.
Oh yeah, there's stipulations to getting our help. You know, and it's like, no. And then it's very cliquey. One thing that, you know, that Jewish dude who you modeled your religion after, who he said not to do so, you know, you do everything, damn near everything he said not to do, you're doing it. But then be like, oh, literally. No, I'm the most humble person you ever met, you stupid bitch.
If you have to tell someone you're humble, newsflash, you're not.
Or, oh, I'm a good Christian.
Yeah, if you have to say you're a good Christian, if you have to say you're anything.
I'm a good Christian. I've had 3 black people over my house. who was that? That was, what was his name? John, he's a baseball player. Fuck.
John Rocker.
Yeah, John Rocker. That's John Rocker. It's like, bro. Throwing out that low number, throwing out any number is not a good idea.
Yeah, if you can count it.
Shut up.
just play it off as it's a lot more and don't say it.
But do your fucking
But even if you do, people will know.
Yeah. And just fuck. Dan Snyder, you're a shitty.
Yeah, thank you for getting us down this rabbit hole, Dan Snyder.
Hey, piece of shit.
I think we've covered most of the things you're not supposed to talk about: politics, religion.
Yeah, hey, and if it's your religion, you have a thick fucking skin. Especially, Muslims. You're really disappointing me. You really are. What's going on in Sweden right now, that's bullshit. I understand you don't like that. Sooner or later, you wigging out to this level is going to get everyone on your case, and then you are literally going to be put in a certain place far more shitty than the place you are now. And you're not going to want that. Because once people start going down that road of fuck them, it's hard to bring them back. Especially in places like Sweden and England. You need to understand, you are not an an American of African descent. You are not a Native American. You don't get to be like, oh, well, my people. No. You immigrated from the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire fell because they chose to fucking ride with the Germans in World War I.
Which was more a case of geographic location than anything.
And they were already getting carved up. That empire was old and crumbling. You've had
brilliant setup though,
and
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
setup.
it's just it's old. That's empire's fucking fall. Look at the Brits. World War II hastened their end, and then that empire just they got lucky because Winston Churchill's half American, so it was real easy for him to be like, hey, let's make this motherfucking. Let's make this deal. And essentially handed over the reins, and they were all like, all right, America, looks like you're the motherfucker who's controlling the ship now. And from then, we have been, forging a path towards dumbassery, because, in essence, we are a bunch of fucking retards running around just Yosemite salmon it up, shooting our guns into the ground, fucking being morons.
And far too often we are living up to that foreign view of the stereotypical American.
Well, and it concerns me because kind of an omen that I see in our history. Part of the reason we are country is because good old George got a stick up his butt and didn't get promoted by the Brits.
Yeah.
Shit stuck with that motherfucker a long time. So when it came to, hey, put up or shut up, are you for America or are you for the colonies? And he was like, you know what? They passed me up for that promotion. Fuck them.
Yep.
And he switched. Getting bit in the ass like that, and doing shit out of spite. We do a lot of shit out of spite.
I mean, that
in South America, a lot of that shit was done out of spite. Some of it for the brown man, a lot of it for spite for fucking the communists. They didn't want the motherfuckers down there, so their idea is putting up, puppets, but we're really, really bad at putting up puppet fucking governments. We're
great at putting them up. We're terrible at choosing the right people.
No. That's then you failed.
Oh no, we can put them in place.
That
We're
game is
great at putting them in place.
It's either 100% or no percent, and that's how when you're putting in a puppet government throughout a pupper, it's kind of like a puppet. That's what we put in. We put in puppers because these motherfuckers are dumb.
We're missing the
go look up the Vietnam War and what the South Korean, upper echelon was doing, or the South Vietnamese, upper echelon was doing with the material we were giving them. Jeep cost, I don't gotta say it, go watch Ken Burns' The Vietnam War. He's that motherfucker.
He's
a
great
boss.
at making documentaries.
He's
the
a national
docu-boss.
Yes, docu-boss. That's the motherfucker. Go look
There
it
needs
up.
to be a Ken Burns documentary called Docu-Boss.
Just on him
Yo,
being
Ken,
awesome.
I got you right there.
That's your next one. And they were getting rid of, the Jeep costed $32,000. They were selling it for $1,200. Do you understand that? Do you get that? Do you hear that?
Let's see, that $39,000 was cost to the American government.
That was us.
And we gave it to them.
We footed that bill.
Yeah.
Do you not think...
So that was $1,200 pure profit for them.
And now there's a couple avenues that that information can travel. When it's found out that, holy shit, we got, I don't know, out of the 30 that we sent there, we got 8 left. The rest got sold.
Sold. Not lost a battle, not abandoned on the battlefield.
On the black market for nothing. For fucking nothing.
That's like trading a Cartier egg for a crack rock.
Yeah. Are you going to...
Or Fabergé egg. I'm sorry. Fabergé egg for a crack rock. That's essentially what
It's a bad trade. Now, that information, when it's found out, can go to the immediate supervisor. Kill it. They got blown up, make a lie. Goes beyond him. Goes, up the chain, up the South Vietnamese chain to the point where it's all right, shut up. Don't let the Americans know. Otherwise, they might pull out, which we weren't going to do. Or went all the way up to the chain. Their dudes found out. Our dudes found out. The politicians back home found out, because everybody's going to be getting these reports of shit. You're going to get these reports. They want to know what the fuck is going where, how it's getting lost, how it's getting damaged. There are reports. We do that. Bureaucracy is tough as shit in our culture.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore as fuck. Just not, when I steal shit, we'll hide that. Nobody knows. Shut the fuck up. And that's essentially what you're getting. And that's the war is very profitable. Has been since the dawn of time. That's why.
Which is why whenever there's an economic downturn, you see the potential for war.
And why do you
whether it's posturing or whether it actually happens?
South China Sea. Look at what you got there.
Yep.
The Chinese government is not that stable. Their economy, it's a paper tiger. They can write, people don't get it. When real communism, not what the fuck these stupid ass Republicans are just barking about, because honestly,
and really not what's actually enacted in most of these countries that are quote unquote communists.
Yeah, they don't know. These motherfuckers they care about their shit and making money. They're gonna say whatever the fuck they can to get people scared. They're fear mongers. That's how they get people on their side. And that's why education is so shit in this country. Because if you're dumb, it's easier for me to lie to you. Exactly. That's what the fuck you do. It's easier for me to get you to break the fucking law. It's easier for you to do a bunch of shit. And that's why you make dumb
it's easier for me to convince you of something.
Way easier.
I mean, you just see it with politicians. They tell you something, and not just politicians, it's anyone with a platform to be able to speak. They tell you something, and if you've already kind of been inclined to listen to them and you enjoy them and blah, 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 you're going to take that more as gospel and be less critical of the thought process if you're not educated.
Back in, Joe Rogan's touched on this, back in, I think it's the 50s, a lot of these companies would hire these psychiatric doctors and or I should say, cultural researchers, how the mind works. What can we do to get people, steer them into buying my product? And the lessons learned from that have literally been fucking, they've been perfected over the decades, and that's what we get now. You get people so, loyal to a brand, they don't see what the fuck is going on. You get people so entrenched in, oh, well, it makes my life easier. Do I really care that, these poor kids in Africa or Asia are, working their little hands to the bone, and then when they're used up, they just get kicked out, and, that's the end of them, get a new fresh one in. Child labor is still a big fucking problem.
Huge.
It's a lot easier to ignore it when you make deals with a communist country, and that communist country is like, shut up. No, you can't. Or they could show you the factory. They have absolute control. China has absolute control over their people. Whatever the fuck they want goes down. You don't believe me? Look at Shanghai.
Yeah.
They literally locked that whole town down. China Uncensored, free plug, look up that fucking channel. Serious as fuck. They also do in America Uncensored, where they're literally giving you the news. There is no side. This is what's going on. The good and the bad of it. The only problem is, we got a lot of motherfucking unscrupulous people that don't give a shit. Our lives mean nothing to them.
No.
There's 7+ billion people on this earth. You mean nothing.
You're replaceable.
Stalin said it. One life lost is a tragedy. 1 million is a fucking statistic. Guess what we are? When we go to war, guess what you are? You're a fucking statistic. Shit, the next war we get into, are they going to consider it a war? Or is it going to be another punk-ass conflict?
It's going to be a conflict.
Like, because if it's a war, we all got to vote on it.
Yeah.
If it's a conflict, then this nigga could, the anti-president...
Or a military operation, or...
Could just, we're just going to do that. And
yeah.
It's all like, no.
Yeah.
It's a big reason why we blew our wad.
Because if you call it a war...
it needs to be voted on.
And it's viewed differently than, it's a conflict.
Well, and they see what happened during the Vietnam War. We're stupid. We ain't that fucking dumb. After a while, it becomes, in Afghanistan. After a while, fucking, I had a cousin tell me, oh, yeah, we were guarding fucking opium fields. In some cases, look it up. Don't take my word for it. Right now it's hearsay. But hey, they were saying they were watching little boys getting led into some of these, tents, and the screaming that was coming out of it wasn't, they weren't getting a spanking.
I mean, they may have been, but far more than that.
There wasn't no disciplinary spanking.
No.
And all this shit that, a lot of these Republicans like to throw around about pedophilia in the rank of the Democrats. A lot of these fucking people are literally actively making moves to write into law. I think it's Tennessee or Kentucky. Excuse me if I'm getting it wrong. I apologize to the state if I am getting it wrong.
To whichever one he's getting it wrong about, he apologizes.
Yeah, not to
the other one.
You want to make it
who you are.
Legal to marry underage fucking, literally children. Like, what the fuck is up with that?
Well, and you have some states still allow, if it's due to religious purposes, underage marriages.
Yeah.
And when we say underage, it's not two 13-year-olds getting married. It's a 40-year-old and a 13-year-old.
And I've heard people from, where were they? They were North Carolina. They said, oh, yeah, I seen a bunch of 12-year-olds pregnant. They are this is America. Any child being pregnant is unacceptable. And if you get caught, you should get neutered. Neuter this motherfucker. His capacity to, not fuck neuter, just completely make this nigga a eunuch and he cannot walk. I don't know if you go look up the psychological effects of rape. It is far more than just a physical motherfucking attack.
No, the physical aspect.
Minutes.
Yeah, the physical aspect goes away after a couple weeks, unless of course there's a pregnancy. That's a different thing. But the physical aspect, you heal from it within, depending on how severe, if you're beaten, anything like that. But a couple weeks to a couple months. The psychological aspect can last forever. If you're one of the quote unquote lucky survivors, you're able to move past it, but it's always going to be there. And it takes just one thing, whether it's a smell, whether it's, a sound, to trigger you back into those memories, and then you gotta go through the process all over again. I've long said, you can make excuses for most crimes, be it, murder / manslaughter, theft, whatever. You can make assault, and I mean physical assault, not sexual assault. You can make excuses or rationalize many of the crimes that there are to commit. One of the few that there is zero way of rationalizing it, other than that person's a fucking piece of shit and needs to be taken off this planet, is any sexual related crime, whether it's sexual abuse to children, whether it's rape, whatever it is.
Because it's core, it's not sexual, it's violent.
Oh yeah,
it's about power.
It's power.
That's
it's purely
literally
power.
what it's about. And that motherfucker needs to be taken off of this earth. And anybody who says, capital punishment, it's wrong, it's not. If I caught you hook, line, and sinker and we know you did it, there ain't
it doesn't mean capital punishment for everything, but there are certain people that do not belong on this earth.
Manson, he's one of them. Anybody that can manipulate anyone of a weak-minded nature to do things far exceeding anything they would do, especially in the realm of fucking murder, they should be lifted from this earth. That talking piece is too good. That brain works too well at manipulating people into doing shit.
And reading who they can manipulate to.
And I hate, there's a lot of simple fucking people out there. A lot of most motherfuckers you talk to, you interact with, you'd be surprised. There's some motherfuckers with mouthpieces out there. And not just Donald Trump. Look at how many dumb fucks he got in his realm. People who are ignorant. Ignorant means you are willfully ignoring what's going on. You are not looking into it. You don't give a fuck. You're being prejudiced. You're prejudging this person. Oh, they know. Look at their confidence. What the fuck does confidence have to do with knowing shit?
And in a lot of cases, that's the way that they...
A lot of dumb people are very fucking confident in what the fuck they're saying. Listen to me right now. Case in point, nigga. I could speak till my fucking face is red. I think I'm right. Everybody thinks I'm right. Whoever's listening to this, man, refuting a lot of the shit that I'm saying. Same goes for you. Goes for all of us. Brings it back to my original, what I always say. No one is above reproach. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no one's above.
It's funny, you start talking into a mic and your brain starts fucking going faster than your mouth.
Your brain's trying to get to the next sentence before your mouth's finished with the previous sentence.
Let's not look stupid, people, and it's all like, oh, shit.
I just sounded like one of those people.
Yeah, I came out the gate hard. My face is smashed. I fucked up out the gate. Look up,
it's like when you're running down a hill and your feet start moving faster than your body, and then your body starts to catch up, and then it's all over.
Like, oh, here we go. Garage sale. But you'd be surprised at how much manipulation goes on every day, even to you, even when you don't think it's happening.
I mean, and that's what marketing is.
Yeah,
that's what marketing is. That's and it's not just the commercials on TV. It's all the ads on your phone. It's the ads on the radio. It's the ads on the billboards. It's the little like sneaky ones they sneak in on TV shows or movies. It's product placement. It's all manipulation. You keep seeing something enough, and eventually you're gonna go,
Yvonne Niage, nigga. Join the Navy. I love The Simpsons. I like that.
Salt tablet.
Fucking King of the Hill. What was it? Squirrel Tactics.
Yeah. Dale Gribble.
I gotta rewatch King of the Hill. That show's great.
It's completely overlooked.
Mike Judge was in an episode of Frasier. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, when Frasier sexually harassed one of his coworkers. Go watch Frasier. It's a great show.
And here's some research for you. Speaking of Mike Judge, go watch Idiocracy.
Jesus Christ. That movie was prophetic as fuck. Oh, that reminds me. Fucking, you what? It. Oh, I was always like, why is Donald Trump so mad at Alec Baldwin? I understand what he's doing. You know, the impersonation's pretty spot on. Go watch 30 Rock. Seriously, especially like the first season. Watch the way Jack Donaghy, Alec Baldwin, when he's supposed to, you know, be a guest star on fucking one of their skits or some shit. He was like, I don't know how to act. I don't know how to stand. What do I do with my hands? Like, how do I walk? Watch the way he walks. Watch the way he stands, and specifically the way he talks to people. Donald Trump fashioned himself off of that character. A big part of his public persona is Jack Donaghy. I'm not lying. Either Alec Baldwin has been stealing shit from him from before the show, and that's like been
my gut tells me that's probably more so it is where he modeled the character after.
I don't know, because if you watch the way Donald Trump acted pre and post, there's kind of a difference. You know, I could be talking out my ass. Most likely I am.
Yeah.
You know, but prove me wrong, motherfuckers. Go look it up. Anybody who's got free time. All 4 of you.
Even if you don't have free time.
Twice half that. But, yeah.
Damn, that conversation got tangential as fuck.
Yeah, it did. Like that. But, yeah, Dan Snyder.
Welcome to one of our normal conversations.
Yeah, for real. You guys are lucky we actually stay on track a lot more on this than anything else.
In real life, a conversation between us will start with Dan Snyder and end with the Smurfs.
Yeah.
How? About 16 conversations in between.
And
this isn't like a 45-minute period.
Well, shit. Since this is like a natural little stopping point, we should wrap it up. I gotta get going.
Alright, well then we'll finish up with a little end of show rant. I got one for you today. Motherfucking fast food should not take 45 fucking minutes to get in a fucking drive-thru. 45 minutes to get my fucking fast food. I would have been better off going home and just going to sleep. Get off of a long-ass day at work. Say, all right, well, there's nothing at home. I don't feel like cooking. It's a little late. I just want to eat something real quick. Go, get in line. Fuck. All right. I should have just cut bait at the beginning when I saw that there was 4 cars in front of me. Because...
10:30. No, it was like 10.
It was like 10. It was just after 10. But there's 4 cars in front of me. That's usually a sign that they're going to take their fucking sweet-ass time. Holy shit, was I wrong. They did far more than that. It took me about 15 minutes to order, which, alright, whatever. From the time I ordered to the time I got my fucking food was almost 30 fucking minutes in a drive-thru at a fast food place. I could have gone to a sit-down restaurant, sat down, ordered my fucking food, ate my food, paid, and left in that time.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Hey, and when you get to the goddamn box to order, please
know what the fuck you want. And if you don't know what you want,
have a standby.
There's been plenty of times where I've gone to places, whether it's a fast food place or a sit-down restaurant, whatever, and I don't know what I want, and I'm sitting there like, I got these 3 things I want. You know what I do? If I can't pick between those 3...
Do you guys still sell the Whopper? This is Burger King.
Yep.
Like, oh, fuck.
I've had plenty of times where I'll have 2, 3, even 4 things where I'm like, fuck, those all sound kind of good. You know what I do? When they ask for my order, whatever comes out first is what I'm getting.
Hey, sometimes it's like, fuck, I don't even like that. Damn it.
Oh, I've done that before. I've ordered something and gone, fuck, I should have got the other thing. But hey, it's too late. I ordered it.
Yep, looks like that's what I'm trying. We're going to cross one off the menu or at it.
So
one
yeah,
of the 2.
Whether it's at the fucking box at the drive-thru, at the counter at the fast food place, wherever the fuck you're going, unless there's literally no one there and you haven't had time to fucking look at a menu yet, if you've been in line, there's the menu every fucking where. Know what the fuck you want.
I mean, at this point, motherfuckers, you should know.
Yeah, and if you... And my favorite are people that are regulars, and it's like, dude,
what the fuck? Oh, that's fucking infuriating.
Dude, just order or get the... If you don't know what you want, here's a little thought. turn to the person behind you and go, "You go first. I'm still not sure what I want."
I've done it, and people, oh, okay. And then the person behind them is all like, oh, okay, well, I'm literally in the same fucking position. And maybe they'll do it with me. Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, and to the staff at the SFO airport at that Burger King, I love some of you motherfuckers. When I worked there, that Asian lady, she'd just be like, literally, look dude in the eye, look behind him, and be like, next. And they'd sit there dumbfounded like, what? And she'd be like, when he's done, I'm gonna come back to you. And they're so slow, they're still processing the fact that she told him to step the fuck aside.
Yeah.
So this nigga can order what the fuck he's gonna order.
And because of that,
get the fuck
Burger
out of there.
King, I can't do Burger King anymore for a long fucking time.
Yeah. Hey, SFO man, seriously, dude. If you come to San Francisco airport, no.
And it's not because the food was terrible. It was because I ate that every fucking day because it was the most affordable fucking thing close to the fucking place where I was working, and I only had so much amount of time and money to be able to get my lunch.
Because I'm not a big fan of sushi, and that food was way overpriced. I know this because people would be like, God damn, it's a lot of fucking money.
And to be fair, everything in the airport's overpriced. That's
but
par for the course. But there's levels to it. And yeah, they opened up a fucking Wendy's there, but it was fucking 20 minutes away from where we were.
And you got a 15-minute lunch. Oh, and you got to go through security. Oh, and there's no fucking...
No, you had a 30-minute lunch,
but
they didn't want you to...
entrance and exit. So you literally got to cut people off in line, show your badge, take your shit out, go... Hold on, we got to check and make sure that there's no, like, Jesus Christ.
And forget about getting a drink and bringing it back.
Oh, yeah, you don't get no drink. They'll just look at you and be like, damn, homie, you're going to have to dump that. You know. Oh, and to end on a good story, one time I had to change stores. I'm coming back, going through, I think it's Terminal 2. Going through that long line, and homeboy must have been coming from a bachelor party or something. They're checking his luggage, and the TSA's like, oh, homeboy, you can't bring, this big ass bottle of fucking vodka or some shit, or no, it's tequila. And then he was like, damn, I forgot I had it in there. This is a $350 bottle of fucking tequila. I ain't throwing this away, and I'm running out of time. He opened that bottle and was all like, he didn't ask, he was telling people in line. There was a lot of people, you're fucking taking a shot. This ain't open for discussion. He took a swig and then he held it in the air, and some people were like, the fucking TSA dude is sitting there looking. His supervisor was all like, man, he turned his back. TSA dude hit it. A couple other TSA dudes hit it. Then a couple of the other people were all like, well, fuck, they're hitting it.
Yeah.
And it literally got passed through the line, I made it. And then fucking a bunch of other people drank it, and it literally, I'm pretty sure it got polished off because he was like, yeah, and you can hear people starting to cheer and shit. And they got a fucking party going on in the goddamn security line.
I ain't dumping out a fucking $350 bottle.
No. Everybody there was all like, nah, don't do that. Don't do this shit. Let's share it. This is a party.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. They didn't say nothing. I was like, that's pretty badass.
Right? I mean, that's how shit should supposed to be.
Should supposed to be. Twice half that.
Yeah. And on that note...
Yeah, I gotta go.
Peace.
Peace out. Stay black.